You've heard of the homes at Epperson in Wesley Chapel, but today we have the next best thing. We have brand new, massive, single-family homes starting in just the low 400,000s. This is Vida's Way by Pulte Homes. If you are new to the channel, welcome, and if you are returning, welcome back. Today's content is going to be very exciting because just upon arriving here, the entrance to this place is a spectacle in itself. You're greeted by this beautiful driveway and then a massive clubhouse and amenity center, and then you pull in to the model center with 4 models that we're going to get to tour today, and I am going to show you all 4 of them, so stick around. I have featured Pulte Homes on my channel before and they always deliver. So if you have questions about this community or the Tampa Bay area in general, I'll preface the video by saying I am a licensed real estate agent in the state of Florida. So if you have goals or questions about moving here, please feel free to reach out. I'll drop my contact information on screen so you can get in touch. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So we're going to start the tour of these models, starting with the least expensive, going up to the most expensive. And this beautiful home behind us is the Williston, starting at just $437,000. So let's step in and check it out. Since we have 4 models to tour today, I'll be quick about pointing out the key features in each one. So first, as you enter the Williston, you have a long hallway that turns, and you have almost like an in-law suite that has its own bathroom and bedroom, kind of separate from the rest of the house on the ground floor. And then you walk into this huge, great room, open floor plan where your living room is adjacent to your kitchen and dining room, and then you have your double sliding doors that lead out to the patio. One thing that stuck out to me was when you get upstairs, the entire upstairs is almost like a 50s bungalow style where you can almost walk around the entire house in a full circle, except they just put a wall in between the master and the guest bedrooms. But you're greeted by this huge loft right at the top of the stairs, and then down one hallway there are your guest bedrooms, and then you can go down this hall into the primary, which is on one side of the wall, separate from the rest of the home. And you have a galley style bathroom with dual vanities, stand-up shower, and a huge walk-in closet. Now we're headed over to the Medina, which is the only single-story model they have available to show, and it does go up about $30,000 in value, starting at $467,000. So let's step on in and see how it showcases compared to the other. Now, although the Medina is only a 3-bed, 2-bath, they did make the smart decision with the split floor plan of putting your guest bedrooms and bathroom right at the front of the house and putting the primary at the back, separated by this beautiful office and then this huge, again, open floor plan, great room with more than enough space to entertain, huge living space, all adjacent to your kitchen and dining room. The huge feature for me that sticks out in this model is, one, the paved-in screen patio. They've elongated it so you can kind of relax out here and entertain guests should you need to. But then they've also added this addition of this huge paved outdoor patio where they've turfed it and looks like they've put a couple of football goals so you can kick around if you want to. And then they've put out some outdoor furniture there and a fire pit for more relaxation and comfort. So now we're stood outside the Coral Grand, and I can definitely say that this one certainly has my favorite facade of the 4 models. Now this and the Medina are on 50-foot home sites, whereas the Williston is only on a 40-foot home site. But this one goes significantly up in value, starting at $542,000. But we also go up in size. We're almost at 3,000 square feet with this one. But enough of the outside, let's take a step in. Now the Coral Grand, very similar to the Medina, other than that, they've taken a little more square footage and added a second story. Now you're greeted by a foyer where your upstairs overlooks the front door, and then immediately to your left is your first guest bedroom and bathroom. Again, could act as a mother-in-law suite, separate from the rest of the home at the front, where the rest of the house is at the back or upstairs. Now you have another gorgeous office. And what's different from the last one is they have these clear glass pane French doors, double French doors, where the other ones were solid. You couldn't see into the office should those doors be closed. And then again, they're following the same motif of these open floor plan great rooms where your dining room, living room, and kitchen are all adjacent, kind of in one space. So if you were sat here chilling with family, somebody could be eating, somebody could be cooking, somebody could be watching TV, but you all share a common living space for the most comfort. Now the primary bedroom is almost identical, so I'm going to save you some time there. But what we are going to do is step outside and find out why we went up so much in value. And that's because one thing, a pool. They've been kind enough to install the pool for you. It's fully paid, fully screened in, and it's massive and also has a jacuzzi. So that's what you can expect when the property value goes up nearly 100 grand. Something like a pool will do the job. One thing that stands out in this model opposed to the others is as soon as you get upstairs, you have this huge loft area. And I believe this adds tremendous value because say you have kids and your primary bedroom is downstairs, the guest bedrooms are upstairs, their bedrooms could be up here, but they have this huge area where they could just hang out and they would never have to be in your hair. And then again, as you come across the loft, you have your catwalk overlooking the front door, and then your bedrooms are almost like Jack and Jill style, though they're completely separate, but they have a bathroom where they meet in the middle. Now, our last model of the day is the Merlot Grand behind us, and this sits on a 60-foot wide home site, and we're going up another $100,000 in value, but also getting much, much bigger, almost at 4,000 square feet with this model behind us. From the outside, we can see, again, 2 stories, but they have a third garage space, which none of the others had. So let's see what they have on the inside that's going to add more value. I mean, just wow. That's all I can say. Pulte Homes has put on an absolute spectacle for all of these models we've seen today, but especially this one we're in now. This home is so massive. You would never have to worry about any kind of obstruction of privacy. The first bedroom's at the front. It's completely secluded from the rest of the home. Again, you have this office, and it seems they met in the middle with the double French doors, and they used the sectioned glass panes opposed to the single. And then you have a second dining room here, or first, because you have another dining area right over here. But again, they just keep getting bigger and bigger with these open floor plans, great rooms that I love to see because it makes for an easy flow of the space and you don't feel like any of your rooms are segmented from one another. Another thing I think Pulte Homes did a beautiful job of in this model and the last one actually are the textures and the colors you see throughout the entire home. I mean, from the countertops to the cabinets to the accent walls to these recessed ceilings with the wooden beams running across them. You saw it in the last model as well. They have done a phenomenal job designing these homes to the very fine details that really make them stand out from other builders. Now, going down into this hall that's off the kitchen, this is actually where your garage would be. So they have it set up as a sales office right now, but that would be your 3-car garage. And then you have a bedroom right here immediately as soon as you enter. So say you parked in the garage, you could come in, go into your bedroom and really not even have to see anyone. And then you have your coat rack there. But of course, this model had to have a pool as well. And it is just a little bit bigger, both the pool and the space. So let's slide out here real quick. And again, you have a dining table where you could eat. You have an entertainment space with 4 chairs and a coffee table there. And then you have this beautiful elongated pool, completely paved, completely screened in, all paid for within your design package with Pulte Homes. Now, another unique feature that you do not see with a lot of other builders is this wet bathroom that they've put outside. This bathroom does not go inside, but it is still very pristine, very nice, but it's a good touch because you can come out here and shower off, clean up without having to go inside from after spending your time in the pool area. Now, what they've done upstairs is just as grand as the others, though I'd say the last loft area was actually more impressive than this one, just because it was bigger. But you do have the split railings, which creates a really nice aesthetic, and it leads you into this media room. Another thing that separates this model from the others in terms of value. They've done a great job decorating it and creating enough space for you to just come in here and relax. And again, they have these double French doors, so you can be completely closed off if you wanted to have a chill in that room. And then on this side of the loft, opposite of the media room, are your guest bedrooms, one on each side, and then a bathroom, huge bathroom, to separate the two, similar to the almost Jack and Jill style that we saw in the last model. So we've toured all 4 models, and I've shared with you the cost of each and what they're starting at, but there are some other fees that you should be familiar with when it comes to new construction. This specific community has an HOA fee of just $83 per month, and that's going to cover internet and cable. And then you have a CDD fee, which is going to range between $2,000 to $2,500 per year, depending on the size of your home site. Now, that CDD fee is cheaper than a lot of the other builders that I filmed in the recent past, so that's a plus. Now, as I said in the beginning of the video, this community does not fall under the homes at Epperson. However, it is literally right down the street from the Epperson Metro Lagoons, literally a 2-minute drive, so you would have immediate access to those kind of amenities. Now, if you're familiar with the Wesley Chapel area, then you know it is tucked a little bit away outside Tampa, but you're still only about a 45-minute drive into downtown Tampa or Tampa International Airport. Now, when it comes to commercial shopping needs, you're going to be fully covered. You have a Publix down the street, and that plaza is going to include all the other shops that you feel are going to be necessary: veterinarians, hair salons, barber shops, banks, that sort of thing. Also included in your HOA fee, of course, is access to all your communal public areas, such as your pool, pickleball courts, and clubhouse. I must say, Vida's Way set the bar really high for the rest of the new construction content we have planned for the rest of the year. So if you have questions about this community, or you just have goals or questions of moving to Florida, especially the Tampa Bay area, I would be honored to answer those questions and help you fulfill those goals. So I'm going to drop my contact information on screen one more time so you can get in touch, and please feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. With that being said, I'm going to wrap up the video here. So if you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Peace.